as a kid and a teenager, I literally ate the crappiest, most unhealthy food. And I would get a Krispy Kreme donut, and I would get a 22-ounce Coke almost every morning.
What's up, guys? How you doing? I'm Paul.
I'm Morgan.
I'm Trainer Joe.
Yes, and this is the Paul and Morgan, the Paul and Morgan Show. So in today's video, we are venturing into something kind of new for our channel.
In the past, we have not been afraid to address topics, and we're going in this with no fear, with trust that the Lord is going to speak to you all, and it's going to be good.
So this video, we are calling it, Should Christians Care If They Are Overweight? First off, guys, if you're new here, we are making Christian advice videos on life, love, and dating to help you have hope.
And be free.
So subscribe. All right, we have the legend, Trainer Joe. People come to you to lose weight and get a proper perspective on food, a proper relationship with it. Wouldn't you say that?
Yeah, they're using and abusing food, and they're starting to realize it's not working. Can you help me see this in a different way so I can live in a different way and get a different result?
That's cool. And can you tell that they might be related? This is a father-son duo.
Yep, proud of it. I think a good starting point would be addressing the question, should Christians even care
If they are overweight.
if they are overweight? Because some people might say, my heart's in the right place. I love the Lord. Yeah, so what? I'm heavy. So what? I eat a little too much. What would we say to that?
Guys, you know, I tend to come down on this very black and white. I try to simplify this because to me, we overcomplicate it. We're not made to be overweight. God expects certain things from us, and we should expect them of ourselves. And that's to be reasonable in the way that we eat and move. And our culture allows us to really be indulgent, and I think that we have conformed to that. Whether you're a believer or not, even science would say, hey, you're not supposed to weigh this much. This is hard on your body. And as a Christian, we tend to eat and keep eating, and we ate somebody else's food. And now we're carrying around a whole other person with us. I mean, that's kind of how I look at it. Like, why are we doing that?
Isn't it interesting that we live in a culture right now, if you challenge someone on being overweight, it's so often fat shaming. If you challenge someone on disagreeing with political views or your spiritual views, faith views, shaming, shaming, shaming. Can we talk about this in a way that we are showing that we love and truly care about you, and we're not coming across harsh or beating you over the head? Because we both know that there are areas in our lives that we're still asking God help us with, or maybe we just don't even know, and it's just kind of a blind spot. Because we can go through life with blind spots, and the Lord uses people to remove the shades off of our eyes.
Yeah. So
if that is you right now, just be open to the Lord doing that with you. What would you say to someone watching that's saying, I'm just not convinced that this is a problem? Yes, I'm heavy, but it's really out of my control.
Or this isn't easy, so it must be, well, I'm just big boned, or it's hereditary, or,
Right.
blah, blah, blah.
I think your first problem is to think it's out of your control. It may be harder for you than your friend, but that does not make you a victim or give you an excuse. You need to decide, rather than, hey, this is my metabolism, or I'm big bone, hereditary, I've got health problems. Those could all be true, but the main issue is you haven't yet decided that that's not you. That's not my identity. Once you decide, I am not going to tolerate this, then you'll find that God's grace is there, that there's provision, that there are answers. I worked with a lady who was in one of my groups, and she said, Joe, I've never had boundaries for food. I've had them in everything else. She's successful in a lot of things. She said, but I never had food boundaries. We just let that go, and suddenly we're a little overweight. Then we're a lot overweight, and we're like, well, what's going on? Well, you never implemented boundaries here like you do with work and relationships. If you're going to walk in your potential in the way God made you, you're going to operate with boundaries in your life. And you're not just going to eat until you don't feel like eating anymore. Quite frankly, it's fun to eat 2 instead of 1. It's fun to eat late at night instead of stopping.
I like what you just said, because we talk about if you just go with your feelings and what you want, what feels right. The Bible warns that out of the heart, it's deceptive beyond all things.
Deceitfully wicked.
It can bring a lot of problems. So you can't just listen to your heart and your emotions.
I think that people, especially this day and age, want things now, and I feel like I've said this many times before in our videos. We want results now, immediately, and I am one of those people that I'm like, give me that magic tea
Morgan,
that
you are
Kendall Kardashian Jenner whatever will drink, and she's all of a sudden skinny. And it's like, but what we're not seeing is Kendall Jenner wakes up every morning and works out for 3 hours and eats like nothing and is very, very focused on making sure she looks a certain way. Like, we're not seeing those things. We're seeing the tea that she's pushing on Instagram. It's like, oh, I want that. That will make me look like Kendall Jenner. We can't just have results right now. We have to work to get to that. I'm not saying we should all look like Kendall Jenner, but I am saying that, you know, if you want to lose weight, if you want to be healthy, it's not just going to happen overnight. It's a mindset change, and that's something that you talk about is like it's your mind, your mindset, the way you think has to change, and you have to change the way you are looking at certain things, the way you are glorifying food before you start seeing results.
I see it maybe with the Kendall Jenner idea that she might get up early and work out for a long time, and she might, and some people do. But I think that sometimes we make it so that we think, well, yeah, I could never do that. When in reality, to be reasonably healthy and fit, it ain't crazy. It doesn't require 3 hours. The reality is,
it doesn't require eating nothing.
No, you get to be this kind of live this realistic life. Crazy is what you've been doing. Crazy is what you did when you had no boundaries and you ate this food and you didn't work out for a year and you didn't exercise and you don't walk. You just come home and play games and sit around. That's crazy. We allow God and we want God to change the way we think and live. But we kind of tell him, but don't mess with my food. Don't touch Little Debbie.
Don't touch these desserts because I love them. I mean, you could literally just go down the list.
I have everything in my life except please don't get in the way of.
So we're just challenging you to don't put food, idolizing food, in a separate category.
I was listening to a podcast, I think Paul sent it to me, and he was talking about weight and being overweight and whatnot. And something that he said kind of clicked with me in a spiritual way, and it was that we're put on this earth to, you know, have a purpose, and it's not to be a kid, be a teenager, and then we get old and decrepit and we live out, you know, the next 20 years of our lives when we're in our 70s, 80s, 90s as like sick and overweight. That's a mindset that we have created in this world. I think a lot of people blame age. Well, I'm just getting older. That's a great point.
You allow that to happen. It's not about aging gracefully. It's about you having boundaries in your life. And I think we can see, you know, in Ephesians, it talks about by grace you are saved, not of works. But after that, you were created
to do good works.
To do good works. And we can disqualify ourselves. On a mission trip where you're at, you can't walk because you are just not fit enough to do that at age 40. Mm-hmm. Or 50 or 60, and to be able to function and be able to do the things we want to do at 70 and 80, a lot's going to depend on what you're doing now. And I love the fact that your audience is an age where it's kind of just starting. I had one lady, she said, Joe, I've never gained more than 3 pounds in a year, but it's been 40 years and now I'm 140 pounds overweight. You let it go at 10 pounds, why are you going to stop there? You're going to be 20 pounds, then 30 pounds, then 50 pounds because you never thought it was a big enough deal to do anything about it. And you're really going to have to decide this is not something that I'm going to tolerate. Why would you?
Yeah.
Guys, take it seriously at a young age. To make a habit, sometimes it is uncomfortable, but stick with it and it will start to become who you are. It's not hard for me to stop from overeating meal after meal after meal because it's just who I am. I've embraced that. Eating healthy, it's not a hard thing. It's not a chore. I actually enjoy the taste of healthy food. But, you know, it takes a little bit of work early on to get the momentum going.
But also with, you know, Paul, like, he loves sweet things. So he has to, you know, take control over that because he could dive into eating yummy, sweet, sugary, unhealthy things
I'm not
all
exempt.
the time. Just because you look at a person and you think, oh, they're so fit, they're healthy, they don't have to do anything. That's not true.
Guys, I could give
Paul
in.
Paul fights to look the way he looks.
Morgan knows. I could give in and be bringing home a lot of sweet stuff every night and let that control me and let that become who I am. This is just who I am. I love sweet things, but I've chosen not to. Yeah. So I've had to put restrictions on it. And to some people, they would see the restrictions I put on it and be like, okay, he's weird. But that's how I am able to enjoy sweet things sometimes without letting it control me.
Morgan, and I'm just going to ask, I know that when y'all first got married, it seemed like there was a little bit of friction in you all with Paul being my son, and he had this idea, even worked with me for a little while. He had this idea of, I think I get this. This is important. You hadn't had that experience, and I think you were like, what did I marry into here? These people are kind of into health and nutrition, and I like eating pancakes with chocolate on them and everything else on them. And you all kind of had to work through that. Has something changed in the way you look at that? I mean, is that a challenge for you? Because I think a lot of people would relate to coming into a situation like that and being challenged with that.
I'm definitely one of those people growing up where I didn't have to watch what I ate. As a kid and a teenager, I literally ate the crappiest, most unhealthy food. I didn't gain weight, but I was sick all of the time, okay? And I wondered, why am I always so sick? I don't get it. I don't do anything bad to myself, but I was not eating healthy food at all. I probably ate vegetables and fruits I don't know when. It wasn't a priority to me at all. So when I met Paul and he was like, veggies and fruits every single day and no sugar and blah, 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 I was like, ah!
Don't exaggerate.
I don't eat just fruits and vegetables and never sugar. Morgan.
No, neither do I.
The crazy thing is, you don't have to eat incredible. You don't have to eat just veggies and fruit and no sugar.
No,
you have to eat reasonably.
Yeah.
To me, there's not any food that's bad or out of bounds. I don't cut off any type of food, group of foods. I don't think that's the way God made it. I mean, and I look in the Bible, what did he eat? And he ate bread, and he ate cheese, and he ate fish, and he ate meat. Nothing wrong if you want to be a vegetarian or vegan, but I do not think that's necessary. I think we need to have a healthy relationship with food. How do you relate to it? Are you using it and abusing it like a drug and you have no control over it? Eat whatever you want, but don't let it rule you.
I just want to make it clear that even though I wasn't overweight, I was very unhealthy. My mindset changed a lot when I married Paul because I was seeing he's, eating stuff that is not necessarily so healthy or whatever, but he still, has the energy to work out. He has the energy to play sports, to do this or that, and I don't. And why not? So I just started changing the things that I was eating, making sure that I was, getting vegetables and fruits.
Easy.
Joe, you said earlier it's only food, and we've been letting food control us and stuff. You just recently released a book.
I did.
It's Only Food by trainer
Do we have a copy of that? Pull up a copy of it.
Show the world.
Guys, this isn't a sponsored video, but if this video connected with you and you were like, I want to make a change, we'd highly recommend it. Here's a great resource.
This book is really cool because not only does it have a ton of wisdom in it, at the end it has his 21-day program that he does. He travels around and has groups and whatnot and teaches this 21-day program. It has this in the book, so you could buy this book, have good wisdom, have recipes,
As Trainer Joe approved recipes. We will put a link in the description if this book is something you're interested in. We would highly recommend it.
And he's also got online programs as well that are really beneficial that you all can purchase and do with a group or on your own. Yeah, we'll link all of that below in the description.
Yeah.
Comment below and let us know what you think about the wisdom we shared in this video.
Did you think we were crazy? Or do you think that we actually had some good stuff? Because we might be crazy and we just don't know it. But I think that we're onto something here.
Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it at all.
Guys, if you need a new t-shirt or a new hoodie, go check out some merch. Get some merch, rep it, post it, tag us in it.
Guys, if you want to go deeper with us and support us financially, consider becoming a patron. Our goal is 500.
All right, let's roll out. We love you guys. We'll catch you again very soon. Have hope.
And be free.
God bless.
You see this? You see this? This thing is lighter than this. This is